Welcome back, listeners. Once again, this is Terratadium on YouTube and youtube.com/Terratadium, and I'm here with Braden from...
This is Braden22, youtube.com/Braden22 Productions.
Today we're going to be talking about TV shows. Which ones we like, which ones we hate, which ones we can't stand. There's so many of them out there. You know, which ones are actually worth your time watching, and which ones are just have insane scenarios or just completely boring. Can't even get into it because the first episode is just so slow and ugh. So I'm going to let Braden here start it off.
All right, so I work a lot, got to record all my shows because I can't watch them when they're live most of the time. I have a bunch of them. I watched them. I had a video on my channel that, again, is youtube.com/Braden22 Productions about the TV shows. And now I found some more. So let's just start it off right now. Dexter, do you watch that, Doug? Do you watch Dexter?
I have not watched Dexter, and because I walked in on my aunt and uncle watching it, and it just seemed so cheesy. Like, the acting was just so weird, and
This is where I'm going to stop you. You shut up right now, Doug. This is a great show. It's on, I think, like the 5th, 6th, 7th season. It's on one of the seasons.
You know, I've heard it's really good, and the episodes that I've seen, like, it seemed like a really good storyline. And I don't want to spoilers anything, but, you know, I will get started on it, but right now, you know, I'm on other shows. But tell me more about Dexter. Why should I watch it?
Why you should watch it? Because it's fucking sweet. But why, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go into it. I'm not going to give any spoilers out, but I'm going to kind of try to talk about it, dancing around spoilers without actually talking about them. Yeah. So Dexter works for the Miami PD. He is a blood forensic scientist. That's his day job. His night job is he kills people who kill people who do bad things. So he is a murderer, but he only murders people who deserve to be murdered. So it's that twist. His sister is a cop in the same department, and throughout different seasons, they've been chasing the people, and it turns out it's him, but no one knows that. That's not really a spoiler alert, because you'll watch that and you'll see. It's really good. His sister, they're adopted, so they're not really sisters, so there's a weird sexual tension between them, but that's probably for people in Arkansas, but it's Miami. But anyway, it's a good show. I recommend it. I give it 2 Braden22 Production thumbs up.
You know, I have heard a lot of good things. A lot of people tell me to watch it and give it 5 stars, and you know, it's a good show. I plan on watching it. It's in my list of to-dos.
All right, and that is on Showtime, I believe. Is not?
I can't remember because I haven't really bothered with it
anyway.
Yet.
It's on TV. Look it up, Dexter. You know what it is. I'm not sure it's on Netflix though. So if you do have Netflix and you get your discs at home, you're gonna have to bring them.
If you have like on demand, I know it ends up on there, but I don't know I don't think it's on Netflix either. Actually, I'm logged in. Let's see here. It has so many seasons. You would think they would have the older seasons on it.
You would think so, but it just sometimes it doesn't.
I know Netflix doesn't have some of the best shows. You can choose discs. It has 25 discs on Netflix.
All right, so there you go. You guys should watch Dexter if you have not. If you've got Netflix, use that. It'll come in the mail. Or there might be some websites online. I'm not going to plug those in because I don't think we can do that. But there might be some a
quick Google search might get you on your way. That's all.
Yeah, it might get you on your way. We can't say that on here, but if you Google Dexter watch free online, I'm not saying do that, but if someone were to do that, you would probably find a couple websites that someone might use.
Yeah.
So
let me tell you about a show. You got me started on Homeland.
I did. It was a good show.
And I am absolutely into it. And I waited so long for season 2 because season 1 finale was just insane. The last 2 episodes, the whole series was getting really good. But now season 2, it's even better. It's beyond that. And for some reason, you're not watching it. You have them all recorded, and they're just sitting there. Why are you not watching Homeland?
I apologize. I work all the time. When I get home from work, all I want to do is sleep. But sometimes I watch shows. Sometimes I'm on the computer browsing YouTube. That's youtube.com/Braden22 Productions. Sometimes I'm on there. I don't know. And I do have the shows on. I have them on, but sometimes I don't pay attention fully to them. That's kind of the case this season. I know it's really good. You see a bunch of boobies. I know people like boobies. Anyway, that's a good show. I know for a fact that's on Showtime. It is DVR'd. Will watch it. I suggest you guys watch it. It's about 9/11 terrorists. I'm not going to get into it because you will find out quite fast what it's about.
The only thing I hate is after watching the intro and outro once, that song and that audio track it gets so annoying. I have to skip it every time because
It's like Law and Order.
it's horrible. Like
But
they
it
need to
gets
change up the intro. Like let's cross over to Weeds. Weeds, it was like a weird intro, but they eventually had tons of different covers of it being played in the intro, and it made it a little more interesting. And after so many seasons, they eventually changed the actual footage in the intro with the same song. But I mean, at least change it up a little bit. Like Simpsons and Family Guy or American Dad, they changed little things here and there.
Nah, Family Guy doesn't really change it at all.
Family Guy doesn't. I didn't mean to say that.
It's
I was thinking of American Dad.
Cry, or is it effing cry? No one knows. No one knows.
I'm also on YouTube, by the way. YouTube.com/Terratadium, since Braden keeps plugging himself 8 times.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I was just talking, and that kind of stuff.
You just got so excited, that your channel's pretty good. You already make videos about these kind of things, about
I do.
Videos, game reviews, movie reviews, and TV shows. So I mean, checking out your channels, I'm all for. Everybody should go for it.
Yeah, checking out my channel is really just going to give you great time. You're going to spend some time. You're going to watch some stuff. You're going to see some videos. You're going to see some video games. You're going to see movie reviews. Try not to spoil anything, but if I do, there'll be a spoiler alert. Anything at all that
spoils anything, it's because it's a bad movie, and you should not watch it. It's a waste of time. I've been through too many of those. You go to the movies, you spend $12 to $15 on a ticket if you go later on the day. Then you go spend $20 on food for you and your date, and then you go see this horrible movie and waste complete 2 hours. And you could be doing much better stuff with your date for 2 hours than a shitty movie.
Not to push you over a cliff or anything, but the movies here, where I'm from, they're only $7 to $8 a pop. And where I work, can't say that, I go in every Monday for free and watch a brand new movie of my choice with students. That's all I can say about that.
See, your job is lucky, man. And we get that price, but you have to go like before 11 a.m. to get that $7, $8 price. So it's just,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I want to go at night when it's all chill.
Yeah, where you can get. Never mind. Not even gonna say you can get shot up. Oops. Anyway, I'll go to the next one.
Just because I'm in California doesn't mean there's gangsters walking around everywhere. Okay, buddy.
We'll go. Let's start just right back into this one. The Walking Dead. Now.
Oh my God.
I want this to be known. I want this to be known right now. I'm not into zombie movies, really. I'm not into zombie video games, Resident Evil, anything like that. But I don't know. I was bored one time. I think I was hungover at home, and it was on Netflix, or I found it online or something.
I told your ass to start watching it.
Told me. Maybe someone else didn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I started it. First episode hooked me. Watched as many as I could. Caught up to the...
It sucked because when I told you, Netflix only had like 6 episodes, man.
It's true.
It was so, you got so into the series. Just off the first episode, it really, it captured the audience. It brought you in. And then, you had to look other ways to find the rest of this show that you've never heard of before. The only reason I heard of it was because Netflix. And then after Netflix, I would go into class, and half the class would be talking about, oh, did you see the new Walking Dead last night, blah, blah, blah. Like, it exploded out of nowhere. And
it is true.
It's well-deserved. It's a good show.
Now, the audience ranges from, I'm sure, little kids to adults. One of the reasons I got into it was the main lady, the wife. She was in one of my favorite TV shows, Prison Break, which maybe we'll talk about that later, maybe we won't. That kind of hooked me, I was familiar with her as a person. I wasn't familiar with anyone else because I've never seen them act, but got into that because of her. Now, like I said, it has many, many different people that watch this show. There's some that I'm just mind blown. Now, my girlfriend, who's gorgeous, by the way, no lie, she watches it, and she's obsessed with it, and that was mind blowing to me. But that's just another fact as to just anyone who's actually watching.
Its audience is broad, and you said you weren't even a zombie fan. I've been into zombies, and it sucks because a lot of the majority of zombie movies and shows, they're so low budgeted because so many people want to try to do that, so they're just really bad. But The Walking Dead, it was based off, a comic book. If any of you don't know that, there's a comic series of The Walking Dead, so it has a huge fan base beforehand. But I never heard of the comic before this, and it's just really, really good. It has a great plot. It's into season 3 now. They're gonna split it up. The last episode's gonna be airing pretty soon here for the half season that they're gonna do and take a huge break. But that's just, one of many good shows. But then there's older shows, if you want to cross over to that. Shows that have already been out forever, and I'm just starting them now, like Modern Family. I tried How I Met Your Mother, and
me too. On Netflix, it's got its ups and downs.
It didn't drag me in because the first episode, it seems like everybody's supposed to already know these characters and they're having these weird jokes, but you shouldn't understand those jokes yet because you haven't bonded with the character. Like the comedy for it, it's not my type. But like Modern Family, it's my type. I watched the first episode. I saw previews a long time ago, but I never got around to it. And now that I've got around to it, I'm on like season 4 or 5, and I love it. It's hilarious.
I have never seen it. I have seen previews, and Sophie Vergara, whatever her name is, she has big tits, yes, but I can't understand what she's saying, and her voice is annoying. It's kind of
you
like
don't need to understand what she's saying. You just need to look at her curves,
That is what I'm saying, but I might get into it. Is it on Netflix, or do I have to find it online?
You have to find it online. I think on Netflix might have discs once again, but I never get the Netflix discs. Everybody hogs the discs, so... Let's see, Modern Family. But also the blonde wife, she's super hot too. Yeah, Modern Family has discs, 11 of them. I don't know how many seasons that is. But it's also, how some shows will have one season and it's like 13 episodes? No, it has like 20-something episodes per season. So it's an entertaining show. It's not going to end all of a sudden. It's going good. And it has the Al Bundy from, the Married with Children or whatever, and he's hilarious. He is. He's
old. He's hilarious.
He's even more hilarious in this show than he was back in the day, and he's just old and wrinkly, man. But that's a good show.
You guys can find that on ABC. I'm not sure what nights it's on. Maybe you guys watch it already, or you're gonna have to look for it online or Netflix if that's what you're into. Now, I've got one. I know that Doug over here, he's never seen this show, and probably most guys never watched this show. But it's called The OC, and, well, it's from California, obviously. The Orange County, actually. I love this show. Let's just go into it. I think it was in 2003 when it started. It ended in 2007. It was 4 seasons. It was really good. I sat there. One night, I was in my room during the summertime. I think it was August 2003. Don't ask me how I know this. I remember stupid stuff all the time. I was rearranging furniture, and I heard this theme song come on. I'm not going to sing it because I can't sing except in my car. And it caught me, and I just watched it, and I fell in love with it. It went on, watched it through I was in like 10th grade when it started, and then it ended when I was in my freshman year of college. Watched it, didn't miss an episode. I own all 4 seasons on DVD, which it's one of the only shows that I have on that I actually bought every single season for. And I do sit there, and about once a year, twice a year, I will run through the 4 seasons again and rewatch them because I love it that much.
See,
I don't know why.
That's when it's a good show. Like, House is discontinued, and it has like 9 seasons or so. And I rewatch it every now and then because it was just so good. Not everybody can get into House, but when you watch it from the beginning and you get that, you bond with the characters and you understand them. So it makes the next episode so much more because you understand what's going on. It's a continuous storyline. Unlike Modern Family, it's pretty just random. It's just one of those shows that anything can happen the next episode. It's not following some huge storyline like House was. And House, that's one thing that I don't have on DVD yet, but I would love to. It's just there's so many. I would have to drop like $200 to have all the seasons.
Best Buy will most likely have it. It will be It'll probably be decent amount because it's just ended, what, a couple years ago, so it's still rather new on DVD.
Yeah.
But that was a good show. I did get into that. Kind of fell off once I went to college, just didn't have time. Haven't got back into it yet. I wouldn't even know where to start where I ended because that was 2007. When did it end? 2010, 2011?
Yeah, pretty recent.
So
The
I
last
might,
episode it was just emotional. It was crazy. And
I imagine it was 9 years ending, and they have to do that. You know what show they need to end? Grey's Anatomy. Needs to be done.
Yes.
Needs to be done.
Yes.
Haven't seen it. Don't want to see it.
See, but the thing is like with House, they took such a long break, and before the break, it was such a crazy season and a change of cast that it lost a lot of its audience. But I know people who stopped watching it, and I tried to urge them, watch the last season. Like, just complete it. You watched it for all those years before. It's a good last season, and it ends the show well. It makes you not regret watching it. So let's cross over to shows not to watch, which I would say Suits. The first season, I thought it was amazing. But then the season ended on this crazy cliffhanger where you're like, what the hell is going to happen? But they made you wait for way too long to finally find out when they finally did season 2. And in season 2, episode 1, the whole cliff, the main cliff of the whole show is ruined. And I have no more interest in watching it because it's exploded. And I really wouldn't want anybody to waste their time watching it now that season 2 just basically ruined the show. What about you, Braden?
I have not seen it. I've seen it on Netflix. I have not clicked on it.
Yeah. What shows would you not recommend to watch?
Ooh, not recommend. There's so many shows I would. Okay, to be honest, I'm 24, and anything on Adult Swim, I find stupid. I don't know why. I don't find any of the Aqua, whatever. I don't find any of those shows good, to be honest.
When I was younger, Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Adult Swim, that was pretty funny to me. And Inuyasha was like the first anime I ever heard of, so I watched that and Full Metal Alchemist. But Adult Swim ruined it because they would only play the same 5 episodes over and over and over for months on end. And then when they would finally start playing them in order for 5 months, all of a sudden it would cut off and completely restart, so you never got to see the ending finish line. And Adult Swim ruined it. And then now Adult Swim's completely different. All they do is play Family Guy and who knows
That's a
what
good
else
show.
all day.
I like Family Guy. Just the other shows, I just never thought everyone else was laughing their ass off and doing all this, doing all that, and I was like, I just felt dumber sitting there trying to watch those shows. Robot Chicken is just
Robot Chicken is the dumbest thing
It is.
It's because what's his name is in it, the short redhead guy.
Seth Green.
He's just not
yes.
funny, at all, in anything he's ever been in. He's not been funny. From that 70s show to all the movies he was in, Up Creek Without a Pal or whatever the hell it was, he's not funny. I cannot stand the guy.
That is true. He's got his moments. I'll give it to him. It's not the best actor in the world, but I don't know. Those shows, he only got that show because it was on Family Guy and it's gotten so popular. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I would rather watch the Cleveland show than Family Guy, though, for some reason. Family Guy's jokes are so, it's based on such an older audience that I don't get half the jokes because they reference, these super-ass old movies. And I'm just like...
That's true.
What's going on here? And his comedy, it's so bizarre. And then when South Park made fun of him, it's like... A lot of the episodes are like, oh, Lois, remember when I did that? And, it's some crazy, stupid flashback. That's almost every episode in the first couple seasons. And it's okay, but it gets annoying and old quick.
It does. The quality has gone up with the technology and everything. Family Guy did get canceled for a couple years because they played a You Have AIDS song. And back in the day, apparently, AIDS was I don't know. You can't say that on TV in 1999, but they've re-aired that episode multiple times that I have seen, so I think people have gotten over it.
An animation that I love is South Park. It's been around since 1993, I think. And it's so... I grew up watching that. I was 10 years old, and I was watching this stuff before I went to sleep at night. And, of course, I'm not supposed to be watching that stuff. It's just all this crazy cussing and all these crazy stories. But I've watched it ever since. I've followed it all along. But they've taken these huge breaks. And, like, especially lately, there was so much content. Like, I was watching the news, I was like, they could totally make a South Park episode out of this, and it would be hilarious. But they keep disappearing, and I don't know what's going on with South Park. It's probably going to come to an end very short. But they signed a new contract for another 2 or 3 seasons with Comedy Central. But if they're having these huge breaks in between, I don't see how they're going to go through with that. But I've had some of the greatest laughs watching South Park.
I have too. I got into it, and then I kind of shied away from it and watched Family Guy. But good old Netflix, again, you guys will hear that throughout this podcast. Netflix has it. It has up to, I don't even know, 15th season or something. It's not got the current one, but it's got most of them. And the jokes, the jokes are hilarious. It's a lot different on Netflix than it is TV, because on Netflix you hear all the cuss words. TV you didn't.
It's so funny though. Like the advantage about Netflix is being able to go back and watch the first couple seasons. I feel that they had like all these funny lines and little things that each character did, and it just made it even more hilarious. I love going back and watching the first like 4 seasons. I will laugh every time I watch those. The new ones are still funny. They're not as funny as they used to be, but I mean, obviously people, over, like you said, it's on its 16th season, basically 16 years of this show. You're gonna not be able to have the same content over and over, otherwise it'll get boring quickly. But it is what it is, man. And I would recommend South Park to mature audiences.
Let's see. I've got just so much on my list of shows. I don't know how long we're into it, but how about 2.5 Men? I never watched this show until Charlie Sheen decided to go batshit crazy. That kind of hooked me, so I started watching the old episodes. Fell in love with the old episodes, thought they were hilarious. Watched the kid grow up. And now the newer episodes, they're not bad, but they're not as good as the older episodes. And I don't know how long it's going to be on, but right now, I haven't watched the new season, except maybe 3 or 4 episodes, but I love the old episodes. Didn't get into that until the whole meltdown thing, but that's one show that I recommend watching, the older ones over the newer ones.
Scrolling through the TV guide and stuff, I would always see that show, but I never actually sat there and watched through a whole episode. Would you recommend that show?
I would recommend the older shows.
Okay.
I would recommend the previous seasons, whether you find that online, whether you find that on Netflix, I don't know if it's on Netflix, but I do suggest that show. Like, that one was good.
Like because Ashton Kutcher's the new guy, right, in the newer seasons?
He is, and he's actually from 90 miles from where I live, which, that's kind of cool in a way.
That is cool. In that 70s show, a classic, he was hilarious in that. But I give that credit to the writers, because all of his movies, he's not really that funny. And, like, all his movies just tries to be in, like, these romantic comedy type things, or just these romance movies. And, they're okay. I can't remember any of them offhand. They're all their names are like just the same, like Just Married or whatever else. There's a million of them, and I never really found him funny. So I would understand why the newer episodes wouldn't be, all that great.
Yes, that's just my take on it. You guys might like the new ones. You can comment, let us know what shows you guys like. Also, I'm gonna try and get a couple more in here before we finish.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go a couple more.
Let's go with Sons of Anarchy. Now, last November, I saw it on Netflix, heard a lot about it. Saw it on Netflix, I started the first episode, could not get into it. Don't know why. I sat there and just could not get into the show. For some reason, about 2 months ago, I gave the show another shot, started getting into it, loved the show now. Gotten all the way up to the season that's on TV, which I don't know if you can Google whatever. If you find those episodes, watch those online. Can't wait to watch those. And the funny thing is, the main character, Jax, he's going to be in my town this Saturday for God knows what reason, signing autographs and doing some kind of talk at the local event center, which is kind of cool to me. I don't know. That's in 2 days, so I won't be able to go. I got to work, but that just right there is pretty awesome. Why he would come to my small hometown of 30,000 people in the middle of the United States, I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, Sons of Anarchy is a TV show about a biker gang in, I don't even know where they're in. I can't even remember. It's Charming something is what it's called. It's really good. It's got kind of related to the Modern Family. It's got the wife from Married with Children.
Oh.
She's good in it, and that was another show that I had on my list, Married with Children. That was hilarious. I used to watch that as a child with my parents before they got divorced. Tear. Anyway, that's just Sons of Anarchy. Absolutely agree with you and think you need to watch it ASAP. It is on Netflix instant, the first 4 seasons. Don't waste your time. Go watch it right now.
You know, there's a couple shows I can go really quick on. Like Heroes, it ended way too quick. They shouldn't have canceled it. They should have kept going. And if they would have kept going, the last season wouldn't have ended bad. I really enjoyed the first season. But it's not a show that I can rewatch. It's something that you play it through once, you understand the concept, and it's not one of those movies or shows that you can just rewatch and rewatch. Another one is Lost. Lost was really good the first about 3 seasons because of the mystery and everything, but after time traveling started happening, it all went downhill. They dragged it out. I didn't like the flash forwards, the going back to the island. I just didn't get it. And then there's other ones. You said the girl from Married Without Children. You know, she's the voice of one of the people on Futurama. Futurama's hit.
Married with Children?
Or whatever it is. What did I say?
Married Without Children.
Oh, I wish. Nah, you know, she's one of the voices. She's the voice of Leela in Futurama, and Futurama's hit and miss. It's pretty funny, quite a few episodes, but then some episodes are just beyond dumb. But one really good show that I would definitely recommend. My final say. Braden can go on after this if you want. Criminal Minds. I started on when I was going through the channels. I saw it on the guide, and I would always see it. And I got it confused because I thought there was a show called Masterminds beforehand, and it would show like criminals, like how they broke into the banks, and they tell their story after they were in prison for a bazillion years. So I thought it was that, and I clicked on it one day, and I found out that it was an actual TV show, Criminal Minds. I was like, oh, no way. And I watched one episode, middle of the season. You kind of get lost because it's like House. It builds up on a huge storyline within all the episodes, and it's really good. It's on its 8th season now, and I would definitely recommend watching Criminal Minds. There's Criminal Minds, and then there's Criminal Minds Suspect Behavior, but I don't watch that one. Just the plain one. But Braden, go ahead and end it for the...
I'm going to run through just a list real quick before we end this for the night. I thank you guys for listening. Let's go with The Shield. It was on FX. It's got Michael Chiklis. It is about corrupt cops. I think it went on 7 years. It's a really gritty drama type, and it's on FX, so you can hear cussing. It can be more intense. Great show. I'd watch that. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix. If it is, I'm going to watch it and rewatch it. It was that good. Then we got Saturday Night Live. Obviously, most people have heard of this. Loved Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake and all of their songs, obviously, and all that. They have Big Deal. Love that show. It's been on 36, 38 years, something like that. I suggest that. Jersey Shore, that's a guilty pleasure. We'll not go into that.
My sister's obsessed.
I feel so much better about my life when I watch that show, but I find it hilarious.
Good point.
New one, Person of Interest. It's on NBC on Thursdays, I think. That's a great show. Jim Caviezel, it's a great show. I suggest that. The League, if you're into fantasy football, anything like that, it's a sports show about fantasy football. They have a bunch of stars and sports people that come on the show, and it's really good. I suggest that as well. The Burn Notice, I mean, you can't go wrong with Burn Notice. We forgot all about that. That's amazing show. It's on USA. I'm not sure what season it's on, though.
You know, because you're mentioning USA, I'm going to cut in real quick. Monk was a pretty good show. That's it. I recommend watching it. The first couple seasons might be a little bit slow, and I didn't like the assistant he had, but it gets really good. It ended, so it's a complete show that wasn't canceled. It has a very good last season. I recommend watching it. Sorry, Braden, let you continue.
That's fine. Again, USA White Collar got into the show. It's amazing. It's on Netflix. It's on TV. It's a good show. Suggest that. And finally, Lie to Me. It was on Fox. It was only on like two seasons. I thought it was an amazing show, but it seems like any show that I like that's on Fox, they usually like to cancel it on me. That was a good show. And I think this was a great podcast with you, Doug. I thank you for helping me and inviting me into this as well. This is just episode 2. We've got many, many more episodes coming to
We
you
have
guys.
crazy ideas, and if you guys have suggestions of what you want us to talk about or anything that you want to know, let us know. Comment below. We'll try our best. And once again, I'm Doug, youtube.com/Terratadium.
And I am Braden, youtube.com/Braden22Productions. And I thank you guys for watching this. And until next time.
See you later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.